When it comes to selecting your perfect gaming desktop, there's a couple of key things gamers tend to look for: performance, cooling, and how well it all fits within their existing setups. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by again. My name's Eddie Goyanes, an Alienware Product Marketing Manager, and today I want to introduce to you guys the new Alienware Aurora R16. It is the debut of the Legend 3 industrial design onto desktop form. It features a new design that not only improves on thermals and acoustics, but is also a cutting-edge gaming desktop built to meet the demands of even the most intense gaming sessions. Come take a ride as we go on a deep dive on the Aurora R16. The Aurora R16 debuts Legend 3 in desktop form. We began the journey of the Legend industrial design back in 2019, and it's meant to convey our vision of what gaming PCs might look like 30 years into the future. It's easily recognizable thanks to its streamlined design, overall fewer shapes, and this future minimal concept. We've actually doubled down on acoustics, thermals, performance, and even the footprint has become more compact. As a result, the R16 is up to 40% smaller in volume compared to the R15, and we've done that without losing any functionality or performance on the overall experience. One of the biggest improvements on the R16's chassis design is the overall airflow. We've actually introduced an incredibly larger front stadium section that allows air to come inside of the system. Every configuration has larger hexagonal venting on the side, and even the surface area for the top exhaust has also grown. We've also debuted the new Alienware Command Center on the R16. You can edit and modify your entire ecosystem with ease. Now, looking at the system from the outside, you can tell we've introduced a brand new color. This is basalt black, and it comes with either a solid door or a clear side panel. R16 is the bomb. It's powerful. I've been playing on it for 3 to 4 months, and I expected it to be powerful, but what's really cool is actually the liquid cooling performance on this machine. Let's talk about that a little bit. When designing a new gaming desktop, the thermal strategy is critical, and we take airflow very, very seriously. Now that we have a larger air intake on the front, on the side, and on the top, that means that the fans can spin at a lower RPM, create less noise, but still manage to get the proper amount of airflow through the system, improving acoustics and improving the overall temperatures of the system. We've also done a lot of work on the inside. When it comes to our thermal strategy, it's not just about where the fans are and how big your vents are, but also how you manage your wires. The cable management system runs wires behind the motherboard, and even some of the thicker cables, like the power supply cables, actually connect on the boundaries of the motherboard, making sure that airflow is unobstructed, allowing your GPU and your CPU to run flawlessly. When it comes to the cooling choices you'll face with the R16, you'll be able to choose between air cooling or liquid cooling. The main benefits of liquid cooling are, well, you'll be able to run your system much, much quieter, and you'll also be able to get lower temperatures. Systems running with air-cooled processors have a heatsink attached to a fan, and that fan has to run at a really high RPM to achieve lower temperatures. Let's jump in and talk a little bit about performance. When it comes to gaming, performance is paramount, and I'm really happy to share that the R16 will match or beat the performance of the Aurora R15 for like-to-like configurations. And we've done that while improving thermals and acoustics. That means the CPU temperature and the GPU temperature are lower, and the total acoustic output is better than that of the R15. When it comes to choosing how your gaming engine is going to be configured, you'll have options spanning 12th gen or 13th gen Intel Core processors, and then there's going to be an entire suite of NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series graphics cards. And to continue with customization, there's lots of choices to choose from. You can get a single drive configuration, a dual drive configuration, and you can get up to 8 terabytes of storage space. The beauty of having so many configuration options is that you can make your spec match your lifestyle. It all depends on what matters the most to you, and the R16 has a ton of choices for you to choose from. Let's go into the machine. Let's look at all the improvements to customization and lighting. So like I mentioned earlier, the Aurora R16 is our first desktop with the new Alienware Command Center. It's designed from the ground up. It introduces a brand new user interface and completely new architecture. You'll be able to customize all of your lights, and there are presets available to you across the entire ecosystem. Some of these presets include managing performance and thermals. For example, you'll have some power states that you can choose from. There's the quiet mode, there's the balanced mode, and there's the performance mode. Quiet mode obviously prioritizes acoustics. So what it'll do is it'll spin down the RPM of all of your fans, making the total noise output as low as possible. Balanced mode will actually allocate the rated wattage for your CPU and your GPU, making all things balanced, as they should be. Performance mode will allocate even more wattage to your graphics card when gaming performance is your absolute priority. When it comes to game profile customizations, it's all about binding lighting and power presets to your specific games. On top of that, if you like to run certain apps with certain games, you could have the preset call that application and run it simultaneously with the game. The R16 has up to 3 lighting zones. You could actually customize the lighting on the front stadium, on the rear chassis fan, and on the alien head power button. When you're shopping for an R16, you'll have the choice between the clear side panel or the solid door. If you choose the clear side panel, you'll get all 3 lighting options. If you choose the solid door, then it'll only be the side stadium and the alien head power button. All right, so we've covered a lot, but there's still a few things I want to show you guys. And to do that, we've got to take an even deeper dive. Let's go under the hood. Now we've got both the Aurora R16 and the R15 on the table, and I'm very excited to show you guys what the hype is all about. Now, the R16 is up to 40% smaller by volume compared to the R15, and we did that without sacrificing functionality or performance. In fact, the internal volume has not changed. It is just slightly above 25 liters. At quick glance, you can see how both systems continue to have the hexagonal side vents that we love. The R16 actually has larger diameter hexagons to make sure that all of the current graphics cards and future GPUs are going to be able to be provided with ample ambient airflow to maintain performance at all times. One of the key differences, as all of you might know, is that we've changed the lighting on these systems. And when it comes to Legend 3.0 and 2.0, it's not just a matter of different colors, but the shape has changed, the chassis was tilted on Legend 2.0, and on Legend 2.0, we also had this 360 approach where on the R16, we have a more efficient design meant to fit in more compact spaces or all around your homes. Now let's talk about upgradability. We know gamers take a lot of pride in managing their desktop, and we've made upgrading very, very easy. Many of these components offer toolless upgrades. That includes your graphics cards, your memory cards, and your hard drives. And this is lowering the barrier to entry for people who are curious about upgrading their own machine. Some of the other efforts our engineers focused on was making sure that there was a wide variety of configuration options available from day one. Offering 12th gen and 13th gen processors from day one is going to give gamers a wider range of budgetary options, and the system's scalable in the future as well. So if you want to run upgrades, you can certainly do so, and that's giving the Aurora 16 a great value, whether you're a first-time gamer or a legacy hardcore Alienware fan. Next up, we're going to take an even closer look at performance, and we're going to deep dive into the actual motherboard. So here's the Aurora's motherboard. And real quick, you could get up to 64 gigs of DDR5 5600 memory, and you could also get up to 8 terabytes of SSD storage. One of the most important features on the motherboard is actually the processor. And to drive a lot of performance, we need to make sure that power is managed cleanly and efficiently onto that CPU. The Aurora R16 has 12-phase voltage regulation. Now, you could actually see each voltage regulator on the board. They're located right around the CPU socket. Each of these deliver clean energy into the CPU. Delivering the energy into your processor are a choice between a 500 watt or 1000 watt power supply. These power supplies are 80 plus platinum rated in efficiency. That means all the components are going to get very clean energy, making sure that during the ownership of your system, each component is very well taken care of. The power supplies in the Alienware Aurora actually offer 2 very special features. One of them is called Flex Power, and it protects your system from power surges. The motherboard and the PSU talk to each other, and they communicate to protect the PC from shutting down in the event of a power surge. Burst Power is another special feature available on Aurora power supplies. And the way it works is, When you're running an application or a game and it needs a little more performance, the PSU will actually push more watts to those critical components. So we've talked a lot about power, energy, and performance. To manage all of that, we gotta make sure that the system is running cool. And one of the special features on this motherboard is we've got several 4-pin connectors. All of these connect to either the fans or the liquid cooling unit. One of the key decisions behind the design and the thermal strategy with the Aurora R16 is this vertical stadium shape. Not only does it have beautiful alien effects lighting, but it's a much larger opening, allowing ambient air to come inside the chassis. Now, every Aurora R16 will have a 120mm front intake fan and a 120mm exhaust fan on the back. What we're able to accomplish with this basic setup is equal or better performance with less fans. In fact, we have lower acoustics and even better temperatures across CPUs and GPUs as well. As we mentioned before, airflow is critical, and that's why the location of our fans is also very, very important. The 120mm fan is on the bottom, and it blows air right onto the graphics card. The exhaust is on the top and also on the very top surface of the system, pulling it all out. This is all part of the strategy that we pursued to make sure that our acoustics are better, that our thermals are better, and that performance either meets or exceeds that of the R15 with like-to-like configurations. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a blast talking about the new Aurora R16. I hope you guys get a chance to play on one, and if you're interested, come check it out on Alienware.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to learn about all the latest news Alienware has to offer, and I'll see you guys next time.